Once the job had finished, I did have my mini Joel Lazarus breakdown. I think there was just a lot of emotions that came pouring out of me. Hi, I'm Sam Claflin, and I'm getting up close with Cosmopolitan UK.
So obviously Lazarus is coming out next week. Are you excited for people to see it?
Nervous, always nervous. Especially when it's like a thriller or a horror movie or something which, you know, I've done a few before. I think there's this sort of element of, when you've filmed it, when you know the twists and the turns and the scary moments, you know, like obviously filming it, you've seen it and you know all the, you know, all the hidden secrets. And then obviously when you watch it, you're like, well, I know how it's gonna end. So it's harder to sort of really allow yourself to be, you know, tricked, I guess. Whereas I think an audience who's seeing it for the first time will feel those and not know where the story's going, and then go on the roller coaster ride. So I'm always nervous because you don't know how it's going to play. I know everything. So it's harder to make a judgment call. But I'm very excited. I'm very proud of the work that everyone's put into it, and I'm a fan of Harlan's work, and that no one does it better than him. So I think you know, I have high hopes, but like I'm nervous. Yeah.
What drew you to the role then? So you said that you're a fan of Harlan's work.
I think I love the genre. I love the genre of sort of psychological thrillers and not knowing what's going to happen next, but being desperate to find out what's going to happen next and trying to piece it together. Like, I feel like when you're acting as a mini detective, when you're sat in the audience, is a good thing. And I think as I was reading the scripts, I was first sort of sprinkled with just the episode 1, and then I was so desperate to read episode 2. I thought I took that as a good sign. When they sent me like an early draft of episode 2, I was like, I need to see episode 3. They were like, well, we're still not sure exactly which way this is going, and it might be but yeah, I was just so drawn in and captivated by not only the story but like the character especially. And I think emotionally and mentally, I felt like I was going through something similar as Joel in many ways at the time. So I just thought I could bring like an authenticity to it. Wayne Yip, the director, had a really clear vision of how he wanted to bring this to life, and talked about this sort of urban metropolis, a bit like a Gotham City, and sort of showed me these visuals and sort of some of the locations, and I was like, wow, this feels sort of quite unique. But equally, the fact that it is a psychological thriller, but it has this sort of humour in moments, especially between my character and my best friend, David Finn. There's like this humour to it, which I just thought was so unique and, you know, very real and resonant to like relationships that I have with my best friends. And yeah, it just sort of felt different. And yeah, I took that as a good sign.
You said that it felt like you were going through something similar. What were the similarities? And then like, what did you kind of bring to the role based off of that?
Well, I think just where I think most men and women, you know, at times find themselves at the end of their 30s, where, you know, some things haven't quite gone your way, or you start this sort of journey of self-discovery, and you start kind of looking back at your childhood, and you know, things just start all of a sudden creeping out of the woodwork. You have dreams or nightmares. You're like, where's that come from? I haven't thought about that for like 20 odd years. But I feel like, yeah, this sort of journey of self-discovery is something I'm now on the path of you know, the healing moment, I suppose. Once the job had finished, I did have my mini Joel Lazarus breakdown where I don't know, I think there was just a lot of emotions that came pouring out of me, partly because I was exhausted, and partly because I was also ready and open to receiving those messages, you know, from my past. In a wonderful way, and I think that's what is amazing about this job. And this you have the opportunity to explore characters and explore a different side of yourself, and I think it definitely opened me up in a new way.
And obviously Harlan is known for his twists. What shocked you the most when you read the script then?
Again, no one does it better than Harlan. Like, he has these little red herrings, these little.
Yeah.
He leaves you little clues that don't go anywhere, but you know, but what was amazing is receiving each episode one by one and not knowing where it was going sometimes. I was playing everything for real, as if like I don't remember meeting him, you know, rather than just, oh no, I don't recall. It's like really questioning everything. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun to play with.
I actually spoke to Harlan Coben and he said he kind of gave you and Bill Nye like creative freedom to make the role your own. Is there anything that you kind of improvised that made it to the final cut that wasn't in the script?
I don't think I did. No, not really. I think there was a bit of banter between me and Seth. Because the one thing that I find myself doing, and most people probably won't notice when they watch the series, but when I'm talking to my dad and when I'm talking as you know, the sort of psychiatrist, I have a slightly posher accent, and when I'm with Seth, I talk a bit more London or whatever. It's just a little less formal. Because that is how I am with my family, and my when I'm doing interviews, I have a tendency to speak with a slightly posher accent. But when I'm with my mates, I end up sort of, I don't know, kind of sort of splashing it up. And obviously with Carla Crome, who plays, you know, my ex-wife in it, she also had a bit of a London twang, and David did. So I kind of made sure that when I was speaking to certain people, there was like an element of him being still the old Lazarus, the old Laz, but then when he was in work mode, he was somebody completely different. So it was that was something I don't think anyone even noticed whilst I was doing it, but it was just something I did for myself because I kind of wanted to bring that element of truth to it.
Yeah.
I think we all do, you know, sorry, Mrs. Thompson, you know, when you're meeting someone's parents for the first time, there's a formality to it.
Like code switching. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of it's for me. It was always like the ability to the sort of survival instinct. It's like, well, I want to make you feel more comfortable. So, and it's this sort of as a psychiatrist, I figured that might be like an interesting thing to play around with. That he adapts himself in order to make the other person feel comfortable.
You've played like a variety of different roles in different genres. Is there a genre or a type of role that you haven't played that you would love to, that would be a dream for you?
I'd say one of the things that I hadn't done before the very job that I'm filming right now was sort of action and more action. And I have to say, I think because I grew up playing a lot of football and I suppose being athletic and very physical, I haven't done huge amounts of physical stuff recently. I suppose at the beginning I was, you know, on Pirates and then Snow White and the Huntsman, which had quite a lot of stunts, and then Hunger Games, which had a few. But then there's been a big gap, and I feel like now I'm sort of entering a different phase in my life, and I'm like, oh, I love beating myself up and training hard, and you know, being in the gym and lifting weights, and I don't know. I feel I'm kind of thoroughly enjoying running around, going, you know, playing soldier, which is something I haven't done for a long time, and I wish to explore further. But yeah, equally, I don't know. I've never really planned too far ahead. I've never sort of said, right, I want to be a superhero in 5 years and James Bond in 10. I feel like I never know what's around the corner. I think a good story and a good script can tempt me into anything. And I kind of like it that way. Make sure you watch Lazarus on Amazon Prime on October 22nd.